Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing another comic book review, and today's review is going to be on Groken from Kenneth Rocafort. And like always, we're going to be reviewing the art, the story, and the overall quality of the book. And so we're going to just dive right in with this one, starting off with the covers. The covers of these books are absolutely amazing. I love every single cover on this book. I bought a tier that gave me covers A, B, and C, plus the two mini comics. And I'm not sure what color is. I mean, what cover is A, B, or C? But I'm starting off with my favorite cover. Um, this is the cover that stood out to me the most. I love the color palette choice, like the greens fading into the blues, making this turquoise ish color, going down to like the yellows and oranges and reds. Like these are bold color choices that blend exceptionally well with each other. And then we have the main character himself, Groken, right there, with his entire armament with him and just looking cool, squishing the little squishing the little fairy. Uh and the blood of the thing that he is squishing. This is what I love about Kenneth, man. Like he's such an artist and he's very creative. The blood seeping out of that fairy actually turns into his artist signature right there at the bottom. And yeah. So I absolutely love that. So this is my favorite cover. I'm going to show you guys all the other covers too. There's 5 covers in total. That includes the two mini comics. So this is the other cover. This shows uh, one of the one of the antagonists in the book. I don't remember her name, but she is like one of the leads of this like science entity that experiments on people. Like it experiment well, not just people, it experiments uh on wildlife, and it's experimenting on Groken himself. And then she has her little minions that carries out the actual like laborious parts um of the experiments right there. And then you see a similar thing where Kenneth's artist signature is actually part of the hardware of that table that he's laying on. And so this is a fun cover as well. And then this is we're moving up. This is the final cover of the main book. You have Groken himself. I love this pose. Like he's diving towards that magical medallion that's on the bottom. And I just love the color choices. Like you have the rainbow colors just coming off the medallion that Groken is diving for, and then you have those that like greenish, whitish smoke coming out the exhaust that's on his back, and then you have his like his utility kilt, for lack of a better term, I'll just call it a kilt that has all his weapons and other tools and gadgets. And this is just a cool cover within itself, man. Like just that action, that's within it. And so all 3 covers are great, but the first one that I showed was by far my favorite. So this is the cover of the first issue of the mini comic. This is just a headshot of Groken, done exceptionally well. Um, love it, love it. And then here is the final cover. This is the cover of the second issue of the mini comic, and that's one of the minions that tracks down and was hunting Groken to capture him. And um, every single comic Kenneth Rocafort signed, and I'm very thankful for that. You didn't have to do that, but it added collectability value to this stuff. Um, but I'm not getting rid of it. I'm keeping it forever. And uh, but yeah. So now we're gonna look at the interiors of these books. We're going to show 2 pages of the mini comics. So this is the first page of the first issue of the mini comics, and the mini comics are black and white. There's no color in them, and Ken is just showing off his line work right here, and you could just see the insane detail and the shadowing and all that stuff. I I just love this style. Like it's just so fun to look at. And so this is Groken. He's in his cage right there, um, being dragged off somewhere. And then this is the first page of the second mini comic. There's not much going on right here. It's just a cool little backdrop with the panel in the middle. Um, yeah, and so I'm not going to go into great detail into the mini comics, though. That's all I'm going to show for the rest of the review. I'm not going to go over the story either. Um, if you want to know about the story, try to get a copy from. You know what? I'm not even sure how you can get a copy. Maybe it'll be available in the next Groken campaign. But I feel like these things were purposely collectibles, and so uh, I don't feel right saying what's inside them or showing off the entirety of it. But it does add a little bit of the background to Groken itself, the actual story. It's not necessary, like it's not needed. It's just something extra. Um, and so yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. So we're moving on to the first page of the actual book, and I man, like jumping right into it, like Kenneth just starts swinging. This is the first page is a strong splash page. Um, this is some ancient hero in the Groken universe. His name is Salvatore or Salvatore, um, ancient warrior of renown and all that. And this is what you're talking about, like being part of the mythos and all that stuff. And just look at this insane detail. Like Kenneth's artwork, like he takes his time with this craft. Like it shows that he loves what he's doing. He puts a lot of effort and love into his pages. And even in the panels, every single thing is like there's nothing that's been ignored. There's an insane amount of detail in the background and the same in the foreground, and it's just fun to look at. The colors are amazing, the style is amazing, the poses are strong. You could tell that uh this hero like means business. Like he's a formidable person. And then you see that he slayed some type of giant in the background. You have this guy's huge head uh just laying down bloodied with some sticks or some type of weaponry just jammed into his head. And then you see a little bit of his hand in the right side of the page, poking out of the smoke. Just, just absolutely awesome. And then the small panel on the top has just like it has a similar amount of detail and love in it as the others, like as the rest of the page. And that's what you see throughout this book. Like there is not a dull panel, there is not a dull page or anything uh that looks like he took a like he like he was taking a panel or a page off. Everything has love in it. Everything has an insane amount of detail in it, and it's just amazing. Like this is top notch, top quality comic books right here. Like I I love this. There's a couple pages I want to show off too. Um and so I'm gonna keep moving on instead of blabbering on the first page alone. But see, like this page right here kind of emphasizes what I was talking about. Like you see every single panel, and there is an attention to detail. There is um there is great coloring in everything. And so it's like these panels in themselves could be splash pages. Like no joke. The panel the panel on the left, like that, there's enough detail right there for it to be a splash page unto itself. And especially the one on the right, where you have Groken just standing there. And it's you could see the love of this craft and the quality and the hard work that he's put into this. And like I it made me in it pulled me into his story, into his characters, because I wanted to know more about Groken because he looks amazing. And then the world has such great detail, and it has odd architectures and structures that it makes me interested and curious on, like, what is the origin of this world? Who are these people? Where is this? Where is it based? Like, how do they make these things? Like, because it's unique. It's very unique. And then yeah, and then Kenna's usage of panels in this book are just amazing. Like he tells stories um with the panels within itself. Like this is a small sequence of events um that are displayed right here. Like you have this small jagged opening, and then like um this worm thing wiggling out, and then as it opens wider, uh you can see a face, and then you see the teeth in there, and then at the very end you see just a huge blood spurt. um and then if you could see uh if you see some of the lettering within the blood itself, um that's a little nod to the amazing Eric Weathers splort right there. um but yeah, this sequence of events, this storytelling through the panels itself is just so amazing. And just so that you guys know, um what's happening here is, like, this is the opening in Groken's chest. That appendage is some type of tongue, and then, like, you can see, like, the jagged teeth right there. And so it's opening up, that tongue shoots out and just pops that blue guy's face, just right off. Amazing page, amazing usage of panels, and I just love this stuff. And then here's a cool splash page too. The main thing I wanted to highlight on this was the smoke, the exhaust that's coming off Groken's back. The exhaust just looks amazing. Like, it doesn't look like just some type of, like, poof of smoke. It looks like the smoke itself looks like it could be like a live, almost. And then, like, you can see all the swirls and the different dimensions of it, and it's like opening up towards the top, and then like waving towards the bottom, and then you have all these just wild designs and stuff right there. And then even the color, the difference of the colors, and the getting darker in certain areas, lighter in others. It, it i was i was looking at this page and just admiring the smoke in itself. And then eventually, when my eyes kept going down and started looking at Groken, I got fixated on his like his utility kilt, where he has his sword and like his grenades and all his other tools and stuff. Um, and I just absolutely love that, man, because, like, this is what adds more character to your story, to your hero, to your protagonist, or any character in the comic. When you add these small detailed things, and you show off some of his utilities, and the tools and stuff that he uses, it shows more personality of this character, um and the stuff that they use, and the stuff, and then also how they use it as well, man. And it's just cool. It's just cool to look at. I love this stuff. Damn it, I love it. And then this is one of the coolest pages in the books, in my opinion. This is a double page spread. This is a huge baddie. Um, and everything about this page is just amazing. Or this double page is amazing. You have Groken, our hero, in the bottom right, and then you have the big baddie just right there, dead center. And the angle that it's at too is kind of like an upward angle. It's showing off the size of this guy, the magnitude of this dude. And the thing that I love the absolute most is the panels once again. How Kenneth uses panels in his books, it makes he's it's basically like the panels are part of the world itself. And so you see here this big bad guy, he's actually grabbing one of the panels, he's interacting with it, damaging it. Um, and doing that, like, it adds more life to your book, because there's not one thing in your book that is just like that's dead weight, that's just there so we could understand. But these things are actually interactable objects that are part of this world. And it just brings more life. It just brings more life to the book, to the story, and it makes it fun to just look at. And just great job, Kenneth, with this stuff. Just like straight up, like, great job. This page in particular is amazing. Like, I love it. And then there's one last page I'm gonna show. Um, this guy right here, and I wanted to highlight again, like, the usage of panels. It's it's just awesome. So we have this big worm dude. Um, and where this panel is on the left, it makes it feel like this is where that character's head should be. And then you see the rest of his body, like how it's positioned, and then it's, going up, you know, going up and then slightly to the right. And yeah, it's just cool. Like, it feels like that these panels are actually part of the scene itself. And then you have his small green legs, like, slightly covering the smaller panel at the bottom. And then the panel on the upper right of that woman, how it's being partially covered by that pole. Um, it's stuff like that that's I find um entertaining within comics, because everything in this book is it feels like it's actually part of the world. It could be interacted with, it could be covered up, it could be damaged. And so I wouldn't be surprised, like, if like, if a panel could be used as a weapon in, like, like, in a future fight somewhere. Like, it's stuff like that that I just find so fun in comics. This is this art style is probably the art in this book is probably the best I have seen in crowdfunding thus far. It's I would say that this is like Mike Tyson in the 90s, or Muhammad Ali in the Rumble in the Jungle. Like, this is peak comic book mastery right here. This is someone who understands the art of comics, and he added so much of his own flavor to it that it's uniquely his. Like, this is Rocafort. And man, it's just like, I just based off the art alone, I want the next book. I don't care if there's words or anything into it. It could be a completely um silent comic, completely wordless comic. I'd read it. I'd back it, because like, the art itself is just it's just that amazing. Yeah, I love this. I don't like gushing too much. Like, I really like this book. I really like these everything about the art, from the colors to the style to all that. Because even the colors themselves, they're very bold colors, and and you don't usually see these type of colors used all that often. Especially in a, like, when you're trying to have a serious, gritty story, and then you're using bright, like bright pinks and oranges and blues and stuff like that. It's like it's what a master does. To be honest, like this is a master class of comic book art. All right, so I'm done gushing over that. Let's move on to the story. Um, the story itself, um, the story itself is decent. I wouldn't say it's the most amazing story. Oh, excuse me. It isn't the most amazing story, but it is a solid story. Um, uh, there is no resolution of any conflict within this book. Um, basically, the crux of it is Groken. He is part of some like legend that was passed on. Um, essentially, kind of like something that you would consider like a prophecy or something. Um, to where like he's a beast. He was born as a beast, but shaped as a man, and so like he's not human. He's clearly something else. He has an exoskeleton. He has um that weird thing out of his chest. And so like as the story goes on, there's hints that are dropped that he might be some type of possibly a dragon. That's what it seems like. But um the story mostly introduces us to the conflict and the characters in the book. And so basically the conflict is like this like science society that sprouted up has essentially like perverted the environment, perverted the world, and out of this perversion, um, Groken was essentially born, and he seems like he's going to be the one to somehow rectify that. Um, and that's essentially the story right there. So he gets captured, he gets experimented on, he escapes. They send someone to capture him, and it doesn't quite work out well, and then that science society sends someone else to help capture him. And um yeah, and that's essentially the story in a nutshell. I'm not going to go into great details with it. I'm not going to spoil it greatly. But it was a good starting point for this series. It's enough uh to pull you in because there's a lot of cool characters in here, and I'm looking forward to the next one. But there is not much. There's not a whole lot of, I guess, like fighting action. There's more of like escaping type action that goes on, and then the conflict itself is not resolved either, but it leads up to a second part. And so I feel satisfied with this story though. I don't feel like it was abruptly ended. I felt like it was contained enough um to be satisfied with. Um and then there's just enough to grab onto to uh to pull you to the next issue. Yeah. And so solid, solid story. Um and I'm definitely getting the next one. Uh and now I want to show off the quality of the book. So I'm going to switch to my camera. Here we go. So here's my favorite cover. All right, so this book, it is perfect bound. I'll show you right here. It's a little blurry, but you know, we'll deal with it. It's a perfect bound book. I think it's like 46 pages, maybe. I don't remember off the top of my head. Um, the cardstock is thick. The cover is good. The cover is glossy finish. Excuse me. It's a glossy finish cover. The pages inside are also glossy. I'm not a fan of the glossy pages, but that's just a small nitpick. It's neither here or there. Um, and the inner page thickness is thicker than a regular comic book, so it's durable and all that. Uh, And so the quality is there. The quality is definitely there. Um, Top notch stuff. And so yeah, so overall, this is a high recommend. High recommend. Um, but unfortunately, if you did not catch the campaign, getting this book is probably going to be very hard. I'm assuming Kenneth will give people a second chance in his next campaign. Um, but how he ran his first campaign, it was for a limited time. I think it only went 60 days, and then he just shut it down. And so, get in while it's hot with Kenneth. This is one of the best books that I have backed. My top three books, I would say Black Tiger, um, Arc Athena, issue one, and then also Groken. These are the top books. Um, these are the top crowdfunded books for me. And so that's the end of the review, guys. I hope you sat through it all. I'll leave Kenneth's Twitter handle in there, and be sure to follow him and to keep an eye on his next campaign. Keep a lookout for Groken number 2. All right, thank you guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.